Yo guys, what is up? It is Teachers Game 2 coming at you again with another video, and in this video it's just a quick tutorial that I'm going to show you what settings you should have your turrets on. Now, rule number one, make sure your generator is defended. Never put it on the ground because people can mesh it pretty easily that way. I just avoid that at all costs. Now, generator, obviously I'm going to have to turn this on in order to show you things. It's not going to take me very long. Just got to play some gas, basic stuff in it. Now, the first thing, what you want to do is you want to cycle and change what your turrets are, because if you have your turrets all on one setting or just two different settings, people are going to figure it out and they're just going to attack you in a certain way. You want to basically transition your turrets. These are heavy turrets, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and place these bad boys up on these things. You place them up here for maximum coverage. Turn this guy on. Now you see settings. These are the ones you want to worry about. No warning, never turning a warning on no matter what. When it comes to this, there are only two settings you really want to use for automated turrets. One, only survivors or tamed creatures, or only survivors. What I do, just to let you know, I put half of my turrets on only survivors and the other half on survivors, and I guess another way to put it is survivors and tamed. So what I'll do is I'll set the ratings to high always on all of them, because I don't see a value in changing distances and varying that kind of stuff. Some people do. I don't like it. I figure if I'm going to have all my turrets hitting you at the same time, I want all my turrets hitting you at the same time. Now you can see there's one to only survivors, one to only survivors and tame. Now, again, every other one, you're just going to change how they are. You want as many bullets in them as possible, obviously, but that's up to you. We're leaving that one on that. So we're going to change this range on high. Now, another thing that's a rookie mistake that a lot of people don't do, what a lot of people do when it comes to people that are lower levels and don't know this kind of trick, unless you put, so for example, let me just explain this. If I'm running at you with some dynamite and I blow your stuff up, I'm going to look in your turrets and say, here's my bullets. But if you have a pin coded on your stuff right here, set pin code, let's just say right there, pin code your turrets. Doesn't even matter what it is. You'll see it's pin coded right there in the middle of the screen. That prevents people from stealing bullets out of your turrets without having to blow them up. Always pin code. It will save your, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh well, you can see what I'm trying to do anyways. It will save your last pin code, so all you have to do is hit last, and you can have them all the same if you want. People are going to have a hard time guessing that pin code, so I wouldn't even bother, try and pick something super fancy. Just hit the last one. That way, in case you have someone in your tribe that you don't trust very much, you can actually pin code these to prevent them from taking bullets out. Now with this, I usually say a good rule of thumb in general, for every 10 regular turrets you have down, you should have one explant. Now that means a per 100 area, you should have 10 explants and 90 turrets. This is because explants are a real pain in the butt. They blind you, they do damage over time, and they slow you. They are really awful to have to deal with when they're mixed in. You want to protect them somehow. Building a protected explant is never a bad idea, just to protect them from getting sniped from the side, but it's always something you want to have. I'd say 90-10 is always a good thing to have. So those are just the settings you want to set your stuff on, and kind of a rule of thumb for how many turrets should you have, how many explants should you have, stuff like that. I would really encourage you to have 9-to-1. That's my suggestion for my ratio, just because you want to slow people down, do that damage over time, and prevent people from just sprinting at you if those explant manage to hit them. There's nothing worse when you're trying to flak run somebody and a explant hits you, then you're just toast. You can see I've got an eighth one or 8 down there. Always have an extra one. You can place it right in the middle. Does not matter a whole heck of a lot. Maximize that coverage with the one explant. You should have a pretty decent defense if you have 90 turrets and 10 explants. If you have tech turrets as well, I usually go 40-40-10, but I mean not 40-40-10, 45-45-10, and that's how I do it. So those are just the settings you should always have. Make sure you always pin code your stuff. There's nothing worse, I guess nothing easier as a raider when you get to somebody's turrets and they're not pin coded. Just pin code them. Doesn't matter what it is, just pin code them. Now with these guys on your large crop plots, make sure you set these to max range, and I usually do all targets, because unless you're in an area where there's a lot of wild dinos, then just do only, I guess, all tames slash humans. It's up to you, but that's entirely up to you. Just a quick little video to show you the settings that I use, and hopefully it helps you out. Anyways, other than that, Teachers Game 2, out.